Menagerie D&D. What? No, I'm fine. Okay, yeah. So this will be I'm calling it a session 0 for level 13. Basically, hi guys, we haven't played the main story of the Crass Menagerie in the world of Materia that uses 5M D&D, which is 5th edition that we've been working on making our own and customizing it and keeping it up to snuff with content creep and
Yep.
power creep and everything. So yeah, we're if everything pans out, we will be playing the first session in about 5 months next Friday, which is going to be what's that date? The date would be the
26.
26th, May of 26, 23. So we're basically doing a recap, session 0-ish kind of thing to try to reintroduce my players to their characters and remind everybody about the story, and because we forgot things, I'm sure, and we probably still will forget things, and that is okay because D&D is what you make. So, something I want to do at some point, it doesn't have to be ASAP, is go over the characters over our 5 month downtime while I was adjusting to my new job. Danny, where's my cat? I hear my cat screaming. Danny was nice enough to run multiple mini campaigns for us.
Yep.
Sorry, I just heard Ziggy outside, making sure everything was okay. All right. So in that time, I still worked on certain things for the main story when I had time, and so it's not dead. Oh, last session was January 13th. Okay, yeah,
Yep.
there we go.
So more than 4 months. 4.5.
Yeah, yeah. So, that being said, um, I threw together glossary sheets for my players just to kind of help them. They're little cheat sheets. We'll go over those in a little bit. I do have 2 players that we know they've confirmed that they would like to park their current Crass Menagerie characters in the story somewhere, and they would like to express their creativity and play other characters, which I'm 100% for. In fact, we have a number of the original Crass Menagerie characters that are now basically NPCs sitting around in the world and doing things.
Almost
Um,
half, I think half the originals.
I think it is half the originals
Because
at this
Nico,
point.
Yeah.
Grant, Gustav.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then Calisor, which was the first one to join, and then yeah. So, so that being said, unless things drastically change in the next week, which I'm really hoping they don't, because I've been building stuff, Dragnar will be stepping away from the group. James is still going to be here, but he will be bringing one of the characters. And it's actually kind of nice because the characters that my players are bringing, they've already played a little bit. So Dragnar will be bringing Ben, his
Leveled
Gith
up.
Zerai. Yes, leveled up to the 13. Um, Geth Zerai, it has menagerie tweaks or materia tweaks. War Domain Cleric, which is pretty neat because we used to have Grant Frost Mason. He was a human War Domain Cleric, but now we'll get to see it pumping on all cylinders. See if the changes we made actually are making it, the whole fantasy of wielding a weapon and holy magic together. Um, so we will have a level 13 Gith Zerai War Domain Cleric joining the Crass Menagerie, and then from the Strahd mini campaign that we did, we will also have a Harengon Rogue Scout, which will be Cielo, and it's going to be very interesting to see this little bundle of chaos join the group. Honestly, um, yeah, chaos, what? And as if you know me, you know that I do not like rogues as they were created. But I am pretty proud of the stuff that we've come up with to make rogues actually feel more like a class and less like of a archetype that anyone could technically do if they just took certain skills. So it's always been one of my biggest things about a rogue. Like you can make anyone into a rogue essentially. So we definitely worked hard to make it more archetypical and feel more unique. Yeah, so we will be having the returning cast will be Allegretto, our College of Valor Tiefling Bard. We will have Cielo joining, which will be our Harengon Rogue Scout. My cat is going insane outside. Give me a second.
Never a dull moment.
Um, we will have Rock, our level 1 uh, knowledge domain cleric, but 12 levels of diviner uh, wizard.
Had me worried for a second.
Yeah, you're good.
You're just level 1 now.
Level
Sorry.
1. Wait, what? Will I get demoted?
Yeah. No. But yeah, total 13. Turtle wizard. We will have Davis, our homebrewed class, the warlord, which is something that I've been working on for, is it 6 years now? 5 years,
Something
6
like
years
that.
now.
Battlefront Marshal Warlord.
Yeah, Battlefront Marshal, and part of me is very, 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 very much wants to just get him up to level 14 so we can see how
Multi-command
that
styles.
capstone, the architect capstone will work out. But no,
I
I
mean,
pace it.
we have been at this level for 8 episodes, so it's not like too far off.
It's
Oh,
been
no,
like 6, 7 months, dude. You gotta level up at some point.
Exactly. We haven't leveled
Yeah.
since freaking
January.
no. Before that, this was at least December.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, our half orc in
Yep.
but yeah, in
Or half
in
Orok or whatever it is.
called Warlocks
Yeah,
actually.
that's what it is. That's right.
Um, so oh yeah, and then Herringons are technically called Padfoots in Materia.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, so they we try to keep it our own, try to keep it fun. Then we will also have Karos, our Leonin Jedi, essentially. Now our Psionic Warrior, uh, which is part of the Flexi crew with Davis.
Yep.
Then we will. Am I missing anyone else? Who's not here? Oh yeah, and then like I said, we'll have Ben, who's that's a
Excuse me, it's Baranazata Eradarana Uwakaha.
yeah. There you go. We will have that
I need to lie down.
Sorry.
landscape. That goes by Ben for short. Our Githazerai, word domain cleric.
So fun fact, these are 12th and 13th members of the Crass Menagerie.
Whoa. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like that's insane.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be fair. For people that actually care, we've been playing since was it October of 2019?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
That sounds right. Yep.
Yeah. So and obviously not everyone's been with us the entire time, but fuck, it's been fun, and we've framed this group with consistency, right? It's a thing. We will take off from time to time, but
Yeah.
the
Well,
best
so
way.
3 characters have been there the whole time. So Al, Davis, and Rock have been there since the beginning, and then James as a player has been here pretty much the whole time. Like he started in episode 7, and then he missed like 20 or something in the middle, but then he's been there otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then
Even our newest player,
Read that, Danny. I think in reference to you getting that name right.
oh, you are. Thank you. I will say I did promise James that I would say it at least once, so that was it.
and then
Nailed it.
I mean, we had Silsoha Sahisisa already. Like we're getting.
Yeah, weird how that's the easy one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, Adam's got it down. I still can't do that.
Sisiha.
Yeah.
Nah, I screwed it up.
Still so-
Now, what was my character's name prior to that? I don't even remember.
He was a shifter.
Yeah, I know what it was, but I don't remember it.
What was his name?
Crap. I can pull it up.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up too. Race. Oh yeah, Calder.
Yeah.
Flick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we called you something else, didn't we?
Nagarklo Hey Samoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did we call you?
Forgot what we
So,
called.
you call me Flick, but
Flick.
the full name was Calder Snoggerklo Hey Samoa.
Yeah, it was.
The next time I name a character, it's gonna be Bob or Ted or.
What is that acronym for?
I'm making something that I won't tell later on, but yeah, that's great.
But all those things being said, yeah. So let's do kind of like a joint exercise of trying to remember what's been going on.
Sure.
So Um,
We're
I mean, not
underneath Whitlaw.
okay. Yeah, we'll backtrack to get details. Okay, yeah. So, the Crass Menagerie are still at Whitlaw, which is the major crossroads metropolis that is run by the Sovereign of Exchange and his council. And the Sovereign of Exchange leaves a very bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But
Weak.
right now they heard rumors or got wind of a potential means of magical transportation long forgotten within underneath the kneeling district of um, Whitlaw. And Ofuma, the one of the council members, but more prominently the head of the museum, the Alabaster Repository, and the head. I think you guys found this out. If not, then well, fudge me for giving you details. But he's also the main representative in this area of the Unveilers, a group that is keen on keeping um, history and keeping, detailed notes of everything that has happened and learning from past mistakes in all manners of life, not just political, not just historical. When it comes to races of menagerie or groups of menagerie, but also events in menagerie, and they curate many of the museums and many of the other things. Anywho, so yeah, the menagerie. You guys found we'll call it a colony of lizard folks that use the old, forgotten subterranean portion of the Kneeling District, which essentially is the original Kneeling District that just over the centuries was built on top of and kind of became like the sewer systems or the waterway systems down here. Um, and a running theme, or at least a running observation, is that one of the council members in Whitlaw, Hoan Fafnir, the essentially the magistrate, the law, air quotes, the general, air quotes, um, hates lizard folks, sees them as um, unwanted immigrants and pests, and um, the lizard folks have developed a community down in this forgotten area, and long way around it, they've basically developed a entity known as the Court of Stars, and that is because somewhere within the Kneeling District, which you guys actually don't, you guys wouldn't be able to find it unless you travel this, I guess along the same path that you took. There is a forgotten court that has been basically boxed in by new construction, but it was a location of importance to someone at some point because there is much vegetation and it's kind of unique in itself and it's almost like a forgotten little gem. And my lord, Ziggy, chill, please. He's like messing with the blinds. Um,
Freaking out, man.
yeah, he's like really freaking out. I'm wondering if maybe like a bug got in when I opened and closed the door to check on him. But yeah, and it's called the Court of Stars because there's a beautiful view of the night sky, and the lizard folk there have also painted the underside of the various trees to reflect the night sky as well. Um, they kind of the menagerie as well as Zahid, which is actually a character from Carlos's background, another Leonin, and some other members of the Root, which the Root are uh, a specialized group responsible for. It's not even the Root. I think I have the wrong name on them, but I think actually Seb's group is the Root. But this specialized in taking care of the underbelly of Whitlaw, and they are meant to be loyal to Hohen Fafnir and the Verdant cause, but they don't really like his leadership, and these two individuals um, operate more in line with other council members, most notably Ofuma, because they believe in what he does. Um, so by all means, at any point, if you guys have any questions or anything that you want clarified, and
I'm just looking at my notes from the previous session. We got some corded strings with Dreamcatcher-like things on the ends. I vaguely remember that. What was this? So this is, I think, from the lizard folk.
it's oh, okay. So you guys haven't figured it out,
Oh, okay.
but
But like, what were they giving it to us like for? Is just like as a gift, or
to
was
be
it?
able to find them,
Sorry.
to be able to find them if you ever need them.
Oh, okay.
And that's where this whole Court of Stars thing comes through. So, yeah. So the lizard folk. I guess I don't know if this is like a little bit of DM behind the screen. There are a lot more lizard folk in Whitlaw than Hoenn Fafnir realizes.
Makes sense.
There's a lot. There's a lot. But they're they're peaceful. They're not like, they're not here to cause any trouble. They're here for a reason.
Yet.
They just have no. I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe yet. But there are certainly, like with everything in my fucking twisted mind, there are reasons for what's going on, as you guys have learned how certain things tie in over the years. So little things that I sprinkle here or there actually matter. But anyways, so in short, there was never meant to be a teleportation circle. But one of the
Okay.
players really wanted it, or like was really like about it, Allegretto. And it's one of those things where you just
But
kind of
now
like
there
hate
is.
players. So you're like,
Players demanded fast travel. We unionized.
yeah. But it's like, it was vague enough, and there's enough, flexibility, and as it has been established in the lore, like the backstory of many of the last few thousand years, magic used to run rampant. Magic went escalated. There was the whole Black War and everything across the entire continent. And then for like 250 years, magic kind of got, shunned and forgotten. And, people would hide their secrets or hide their capabilities. And only, within the last, I don't know, few decades are people being more and more open about it again.
And so
So,
this would only be an option to come back anyway, right? Because we don't know of any teleportation circles anywhere else. I don't think, even if Al is able to, because I think this is a new level 13 spell, right? So
yeah.
Ye-
So,
first level 7 spell, I think, right?
yeah, like essentially, you can use the circle to go into other circles, which you don't know, or you can use other circles to go back to this one. So you have the glyph for this one, whatever that glyph would be,
Right.
right? The symbol. Um, you guys can be creative. I'm always up for who knows. But I do believe that someone in the group has the teleportation spell as well, I think.
yes, yes.
So,
I think we leveled up back in Carver, and I
yeah.
think on the trip,
Yeah,
I
you
was like, "Hey,
studied it.
Davis."
Yeah,
Yeah, I back and forth with Davis a little bit because he has
that's
the
right.
glaive teleportation.
Yeah.
He inspired me. So on the way up to Whitlaw, camping between each night, I'd be like, "Hey, Davis, I'm gonna practice this. I'm gonna go like 200 feet that way. Watch this."
Was there, yeah.
And you're like, now I'm gonna take you with me. I'm like, okay.
So, they did eventually find the magic circle, though they did find a false magic circle, because as the players are going to learn, people of high magic are very paranoid and very protective of their secrets, and sort of like, they don't give a fuck about other people as well. So they did find a false teleportation at one point, circle, and Al got shanked by a magically enhanced and eternally bound to servitude invisible stalker.
I have a note here that says 135 damage. It is like a billion question marks. It one shot me, and I was just like, "Oh, bye."
Damn, that would be almost instant death for you.
No, he's at like 90, so it's almost
Really?
like.
I thought you were at like 70 something.
No, he's
I'm
got
working on it.
So, yeah, I mean, so, but anyways, but they did find the real magic circle, and lo
Oh
and
wow, you're at
behold,
97. Damn, you're chonkies.
Oh yeah.
but that real magic circle actually happened to be where the lizard folk established their court of stars, and that is why that small little square is so important and special, and seemingly was able to repel the natural construction around it and keep its magic can be weird. But yeah, literally that little forested off, little overgrown botanic area that the lizard folk come out to see the sky in is the magic circle itself. So you guys have the magic circle. Now, backtracking even more. You guys went to the Alabaster Repository and the Alabastra. You met, as I mentioned, Ofuma, and you learned who he was, and even though he didn't have the best introduction with you guys, you now understand his position and what he has to deal with. And while you guys were there, you guys picked up on the thread of artifacts coming from relics, artifacts, baubles from the past, etc., things of significance. My phone literally is going off like crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry about that. Probably just oh, sorry, I was Anita because she's on vacation. She was letting me know that they're going to bed because it is 11:30 over there.
No worries.
All right. Yeah, she's over at Roxville this year. Over in Daytona. All right. So that being said, the menagerie were introduced to like these relics and these as artifacts and these things of forgotten history coming from the West, beyond the borders of Kled, the nation state where so far the entire story has taken place. And they are actually going to potentially start venturing into a neutral territory known as the Open Plains, to assist with helping the various teams of study from the College of Fascinations, the unveilers that are associated with the museum, and other interested parties in getting these artifacts over safely and getting the people back home safely, for multiple reasons. There are, I wouldn't call them rumors because they are happening. I don't know what there's news and that of just how unstable parts of the open plains are. There's the raids going on. There's unbeknownst amounts of slaughter and death in certain parts, and it's a dangerous time for these, you know, non-combatant individuals that are just here for recovering history and understanding the world and science and everything. The Menagerie did have a brief encounter with some of the things that are coming that are from the West and that are actually a threat, in that they were introduced to a thing that is a concept known as an origin point. Something long forgotten and still not understood, but it did actually manage to bring a celestial entity into existence. One that was meant to be brought into existence a very long time ago, but never was able to. Chandra? No, Sandra was her name? Something like that?
I don't have that name.
I don't remember what it was. But they also found out that there were things tracking this, and that was the bloodletter demons. And they had an encounter, and so they are understanding that there are fiends involved and forces that are now starting to, turn the knobs a little bit more. We went from
Oh, Chandra. Yeah, Chandra. I do have that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now they're starting. I hope they started to understand that there's tricklings of older magics and older presences and stuff that are going to be coming or from the West, or they're going to go encounter in the West. And I believe the travel west is going to take them by about 10 days, I think. I have to look at the map. I believe it's about 7 to 10 days worth of travel, with wagon and cart and crew. But essentially, the Menagerie, for reasons, for good reasons, have agreed to assist in protecting and getting individuals out from these archaeological sites that are becoming more and more hostile and just dangerous. And that's essentially going to be the focus point now for a while. Things that I've told my players, and they've probably felt this, is they're level 13. They haven't really gotten too much in the terms of magic, I mean, items and stuff. Everyone's pretty much got enough now to be equipped out, but it's gonna ramp up substantially now, guys. It's like this whole theme of like you guys. The theme that I hope to convey is that you guys are gonna start unearthing forgotten secrets, forgotten things.
Hell yeah.
And it's going to start getting a little bit more wild. Probably going to be a lot more theater of the mind, just because it's very hard to find accurate representations of what I want. But now with the advent of, I'm just going to air quotes, open source AI imagery, it's pretty fucking easy to find things that can, be good inspiration points.
Yeah.
I really hope this will be a chapter that is not like any D&D that anyone ever has really played, and just the sheer amount of what the fuck is going on. Because as three of you know, Danny, CJ, and Al, things from the very beginning had a reason for being there. And you guys might encounter things that are tied in to the very beginning. Also, on the complete opposite side from the west to the east, where Carver was and her kobold friends are, and Dryads have made up a new grove, and the Menagerie helped Scoot and them kind of rebuild Carver and make Carver less of a shithole and more of like a good place for people to have a fair living. There is the Bound and Hindered Storm of Vengeance, which is a green dragon, which is an Alohi, which you're starting to learn what that concept is, that the Menagerie managed to slay.
It's fine.
They learned that it was definitely more than just a dragon in the traditional sense. And there's members of the dragon cult over there, I'm just saying dragon cult to keep it simple, that are now in Whitlaw, that are to be on trial, and there's this whole tangled web over to the west
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
we were gonna stick around for that. For what's her name?
We were, but
But
past tense.
maybe you are, maybe
Well,
you're
we
not.
still can. Yeah, it hasn't taken place yet.
The magic circle might help you guys get back in time. Who knows? However you guys want to
Or it might just
do.
stay. What was her name? Yeah, so we could just literally just stay, wait.
The dragon's name?
No, the late. Nah, not Isel.
You're very close. Let me find it. Because, again, names
The
right now.
dragon's name, but the
No.
No, the elven lady in Carver.
Yeah. The one that's on trial.
oh goodness, yeah, I don't remember.
Let me find it. I have it in my notes. It's just been so long. Yeah, because, like,
Storming their house is fun, but I don't remember their name.
yeah. I'm looking at Whitlaw.
Lady Estra,
Yeah,
Estra, there you go, nice.
Valerie Estra.
Yeah, so Scoot Ultra Blue is now kind of running the show over in Carver, your Marion friend. Uh, yeah, dang. So Tega Solomon is the not Tegan. What is it? Is Bragon Solomon was the Minotaur that was part of the Dragon Cult that is now deceased. Maxim
Ichi.
Laron was
Ezel Ichi.
Yeah. Um, he's deceased. So now basically Lady Estra was the one that survived.
Maxime fucking murked Bragon in the middle of the fight.
Yeah,
to
Bragan.
suck his
Yeah,
life force.
Yeah.
This life force, it's mine now.
Yeah, he did it to two of them. It was Bragan and Ichi.
Ichi,
He did it to
yeah.
both of them. Because he was drawing on their borrowed draconic powers. Yeah, the Gritmeyers are still over there doing their thing. Osuit's still leading the Kobolds, though, as I kind of hinted to the players, is like he might not be living much longer because
He's
he
pretty
broke.
old. Yeah. Oh,
Well,
the
the
staff. That's right. Yeah.
because the staff was literally like a beacon of life energy, which he used to heal you guys. Kogita's still there. Yeah, so Carver is there,
What
but
about
outside of Carver,
Eno and Mole?
Mole. Yeah, Goija and Mole
Eno, and
are, actually Mole Solomon. He's a descendant
right.
of the Solomon house. They're
He
still with
witnessed his uncle,
his aunt
his
was getting.
aunt, just get
Yeah,
absolutely wrecked. Yeah, damn.
he had no good blood with his family, anyways. So
Yeah, I haven't been noticed that he's no longer banished from Whitlaw, I guess, or
yeah,
from Carver,
yeah,
or I
from
guess
the
his
temple
yeah.
Carver. Yep. So, but just again, just trying to get the juices flowing and trying to help you guys remember. So yeah, the Storm of Vengeance is there. I think the trial is like on the 22nd, 17th. I had a date. Whereas it's there's a specific date that it's set for, and I think it was like something like 2 weeks away or something for you guys. Um, we'll have to hopefully look at the calendar and try to remember.
You can always pull it
But
up.
yeah, no,
We started looking for the circle on the 10th,
Yep.
so it might be like the 12th.
no, it's further away than that. Let me go
Oh,
to.
sorry, the current
He
day.
meant current day, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that sounds. Yeah, it's 2 days later of searching. At least it might be one day, but we're just gonna say roll it into 2 days later. Um, let me look. God, I haven't been in Roll20 in forever. Okay. Uh, there's my calendar tab. Yeah, you
What
guys
time
are
are you
on the
looking?
10th. You guys are on the 10th. No, there. Wait, it's Everly, right? Yeah, you guys are Everly.
Yes.
There's something special. I'll have to go look at my notes.
At the Court Thorns after Thryson Day?
Yeah, when's thrice?
I'll look it up.
Yeah, if you don't mind. It's in this
Um,
one. I think the trial is on Thryson. I think that's what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, on the 22nd.
That's
Yeah.
22nd. Yep.
So you guys, yeah, I knew the 20 something was important. So yeah, it's gonna be Sunday the 22nd. Is when Thryson is, and you guys, let's say, just for the sake of oops, we forgot time. It's Thursday the 12th, so it's a whole 10 days away. I just moved the token so I remember
Here, I
on
put
here.
it up on the stream if people want to see the calendar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is not fully up to date, but it's got some stuff on it.
Yeah. A little bit of calendar is good.
Cause yeah, it doesn't have the last two episodes, so we could be on like the 12th or something like that. Cause yeah, the
You're like
10th
you're
is when
like
we
11, 12 or something like that.
yeah,
So
so it'll be in here
when
somewhere. I'll fix
if
it.
we're nice enough to figure that out, then we'll for sure set that in stone. But yeah, you guys have, for the sake of argument, the story has literally only been going on for about a year, right? It started in 268
Schema.
post-Black Treaty, and now you guys are on 269 post-Black Treaty. So Thryson again so there's Tristan, Thryson, and they are just magical phenomenon in the day where the twin moons, Loon and Loon. Love that they're both called the same thing, just spelled differently. Luna and Luna, they appear next to each other in the sky all day, all night, almost like two beacons just watching over the world. And certain magical events only happen. Like one of the plants that you guys collected only blossoms on those 2 days in the year. Um, so there's that. Actually, there's three because there's the middle day, median or whatever. Um, Again, just a running theme in case my players have forgotten. The number 11 is very important in this world because there's 11 prime deities. The months are all 33 days because there's three alignments. We have 33 of 11 gods, so remember.
Ye-
163 days. So 11 is very important. But anyways, going on a tangent. So that's what's going on in the west is where it looks like the menagerie is going, and they're to help with the archaeologists and the college individuals and the unveilers that are there, and probably even helping the border cities there and all the amongst all the escalations and raids and death and danger. Um, in the middle, which is Whitlaw, you're waiting a trial, and you have new allies in Ofuma, who's the head of the Unveilers. You still have Tabard, who is your curator of goods. He is a student of the White Duke, uh, which is
So he
actually,
says.
you know, seemingly knows a lot about you guys and has a lot of connections throughout the city. Um, and then you also have other friends from Whitlaw that are over in the east. Hadriel, the Tengu curator and studier of secrets and forgotten knowledges, uh, and some of your other allies over in the east, over at Carver. You have your friends in the Kobolds that are.
Volpine friends.
Uh, oh, you also have your Volpine friends. Yep. So you still have
Navari
I
and
Navor-
just
Stray.
realized, guys, we gotta go back to Green Hill.
That's true.
I need to go purchase another pipe to smoke out of.
Well, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. May or may not be there anymore.
Oh no.
So I just realized who invited Lady Gaga to the menagerie. Sorry, I'm in chat.
Yeah.
I just realized that. That's so. But anyways, so that's a kind of like a very loose, brief recap of a lot of events. And there were other things like in Al hinted on it, or yeah, I'll use your player names, or character names. I think Davis is Glaive. You guys did a lot of work on the Glaive. It's special.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's pretty cool, I guess.
uh, but there's also other things like smaller bits of details things that you learn from being underground. You have Oren Ebenquill's
Oh yeah, his book.
ledger book. You have Zarya the bitch. You have her. You returned her head or her prison, uh, which is the skull of a hellhound, uh, to Tabard, and Tabard sealed it away in a relic known as the Dark Scroll. Um, you have a collection. You basically have a bank, I guess you would say, or like a tab
Yeah,
that
an
is open,
account.
an account with him worth 20, 30,000 gold based on the various trophies that you had collected or taken from Zarya. You have a few items on loan from you guys. Um, you have Yeah, so there's a lot. As far as like major character changes, in case people are forgetting, there's some visuals. Davis's hair is very much fox orange
Hell yeah.
because of her relationship with the glaive and with Agni.
All over.
You know, Al has been de-aging ever since the encounter with the unformed maze. Rock's shell is still an extremely intricate pattern of mathematical stuff. Um,
I'm assuming I don't do steam out of my wounds and stuff anymore so much, or like maybe
Not
barely.
so much. It's when you get really bad.
Yeah,
Like when you
I
get
gotcha.
really bad, been kind of fading out. The only effect that hasn't really faded out is rock shell.
Got it.
Rock shell is as air quotes pristine or as potent as it was when it happened. You guys can still speak Maze Camp. That's still there. It's
Yeah.
never really. You guys
Nice.
still speak and understand Maze Camp, the language of the I guess you would say like the underworld or the under earth or under between the underrealm. So yeah, so I think that's that I can at least major enough recaps. If there's anything that comes to mind or you guys are forgetting or want to like clarity on or something like what about this or maybe I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff because I'm going to be having to do some homework and get myself familiar with some of the older details because I've been kind of more focused on just making sure I have all the tie-ins and the future stuff ready for you guys. Um, we can, I guess, reintroduce everybody to their characters and try to get everybody at least stewing on what they're able to do. Because there have been changes since you guys have played last as well, and just some of the mechanics and some of the things that we've done.
Yep.
There's been a lot of work in the downtime. I'm just trying to get as much as we can into 5e tools, which is going to be a really good resource for you guys. If you haven't gone through the steps to import all the things, I think that is something that
Yeah, and
Danny,
I need to go
mostly
through
Danny,
do a
but maybe
last
myself if I
pass.
remember how to do it, we can help you get
Yeah, and
all
I
the.
need to make sure I do a pass to update everything to the very, very, very latest. So
Yeah, and I will be working on 6th and 7th level spells
okay.
as I can because I stopped at 5th. But 5th is still like, cantrips through 5th is still like the bulk of what everyone has. But I do need to be a good DM and get you guys some more details. So in Discord in the Menagerie channel, pinned are your glossary sheets, your cheat sheets. Um, as I made them for the one shots, I also one shots air quotes the mini campaigns. I made them for the main characters. So just I guess because Allegretto is up. So Allegretto, our disperser tiefling, College of Valor bard. Go ahead and start scrolling down, gang.
Got it.
All right. Not too much has changed here, other than I went with the precedent that they have established in the later stuff in 5e that you pick your casting uh, ability modifier for any racial stuff. So Al would have been charisma because that's your main stat. And then when you get spell casting, you can cast them like once per day normally. Uh, Cantrips are at will, but like you can cast, disguise self once using this trait and detect thoughts once using this trait. But then you have them on your spell list, and you can use your spell slots to fuel this magic. Now, disguise self for Al is a little bit of a mute point because one of the two boons, I would say, that they're invocations that he got from
Candleman.
Wick. Yeah, from Wick.
Okay.
John Wick.
Hmm.
He was Wick before John Wick was cool. Okay. So that he got from Wick was that he has Mask of Many Faces at the cost of 8 of his hit points at all times. So Al has always been able to just do at will Sky Self. But other than that, Al's pretty, as far as the Tiefling goes, pretty standard. We can scroll down to now Bard.
We got
Stuff,
feats.
I guess,
I guess.
yeah, feet. So a big one that Danny and I agreed on is we made armor mastery a 1 bullet point. So that being said, if you have magical armor of any kind, so magic armor, magic shield, if you are wielding it or wearing it, it then applies the damage reduction to magical attacks as well that are bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. So just a
Nice.
reminder for Al. Al is this super heavily armored Valor Bard that is stealthy as all
Stealthy as
hell.
hell. What the fuck?
He basically has lucky feet because he took fortunate 3 times, and he's got tough nails, which is actually compensating for why he used to be squishy, but now he's a little bit more durable.
Did you take that at 12 or something? Is
He
that
did,
recent? Oh, okay.
yeah, good well. And then because we play with the house rule of intelligence bonuses,
Oh.
Al has enough to get a little bit like skills. So it's up here. It's in the feeds. Yeah, yeah. So he took a tool, which was Navigator's tool, to kind of play into his relationship with Davis,
Yay.
and also part of his backstory. And he took a language, which was
Yeah,
I'm assuming it was studying the Hag's notes and stuff that maybe spurred you to want to learn that. I don't remember.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there's not going to be much changes in terms of Bard because you basically have everything or at this point. But Song of Rest and Bard Inspiration D10s. Remember that your counter charm is an active, it's a reaction active that you can do. Al has taken, you already did your expertise. You did all these things. Um, The biggest, it's in alphabetical order. Yes, sorry, I should be going in alphabetical order, not just on Jack of
Yeah, I was
Trades.
thinking
So
of level.
yeah, magical inspiration. So Al, if you guys remember, Al's bardic is literally like it can basically do anything. Like this is like there's like one thing I think that it doesn't do, but like you can use it for saves, you can use it for AC bumps, you can use it for attack damage, you can
Damage.
use it for attack rolls, you can do it
The
for healing, you can
the
do
one
it.
caveat is I cannot give it to myself. I think does every
Yeah,
other college get that
no,
ability?
it's but College of Lore eventually gets it where they can.
Okay, so it's still a rare thing. Okay.
I think
Magical secrets. What was that?
I was gonna say I think the only thing that comes close to it other than that is uh Glamour Bard
The
uses
mantle.
it that technically buffs themselves as well as
Yeah,
other people.
that's
That
true.
might be what I was thinking of.
You
Okay.
mean like
Okay.
little Alex Horn? He was a glamour
I have
bard.
a lot of more.
Oh.
But no, yes. So I think alternatively, creature expends. Um, Alternately, when a creature expends any number of hit die outside of a short or long rest. Okay, so something that did change about Song of Rest, we gave it a reaction component to it as well. So when a creature expends a hit die to regain hit points outside of a short or long rest, you can use your reaction to further increase it by d6, but it scales with your thing by d10. So yeah, remember you
Nice.
have that reaction if you need to use it.
So that's
Um,
just always. That's not during the
always,
Song of Rest. That's just
always.
always. Okay.
Yeah, just
Nice.
giving
Nice.
a little thing. The biggest change that we made to casters is anyone that is not a third caster is now a prepared caster.
Oh shit.
Have fun with that.
Don't
Yeah.
So,
handbook.
Well, so I guess that begs the question. So was normally a known caster, and like, so how would he? Does he have all the spells from the Bard spell list available to him now to prepare?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he has all the bard spells that are now available to him. And he can swap them out as any prepared caster can during sleep. The number that he can have is equal to his charisma
Right.
plus
Plus
his
Bard
bard
level,
level. So I think that's 18.
probably.
No, 17. I don't think you have a 20 yet. But anyway, 17, 18 spells.
I have 20 charisma.
Oh, you
Okay,
do.
so
So yeah, it's
it would
18
be
then.
spells, and then on top of that, you would have your two magical secrets. Your magical secrets you lock in, and if I remember right, you took Counterspell and Greater Steeds. That's why you have Lunlu.
So
Yes.
how many cantrips is he? Oh, so he's at the 4 cantrips right now. Okay.
So 4 cantrips.
But those you can't change, right? Except for at a level up. Is that?
Whatever they did, I think it's that whenever he levels up, he can drop a cantrip and swap it out.
I think for my, because I'm playing my cleric ranger, basically raw. And I
Yeah.
think the cantrip versatility thing was like an additional feature, and I think it's only when you do ASIs.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I think we did it at the level. I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
It's in here. Again, trusting Al to also familiarize himself and read through it. Roll
Don't-
down a little bit. What's up?
Don't trust Al. His deception's like 300.
Yeah, fair point.
Don't tell nobody.
I gotta
Archie.
go. We 5 a.m. same golf.
Okay.
So
No,
right time for him.
take it easy, man.
Thanks.
Looking forward to next week with you.
Yeah, I'll be back fully engaged next week.
Cool.
I'll still listen to the session. So if there's anything you need,
Yeah, we'll
I
keep
will,
rolling.
I will share it for next week.
I'll go look your character and stuff like that just so because I'm getting everyone familiar with what everyone can do again. Go ahead and scroll up if you'd be so kind, because there's a spell list. I do anything with that. So college spells was we actually defined what college spells are. That's another thing we did. We gave in spell. I guess it was down there. I just didn't see it. All college schools have college spell lists now, and they are uniquely spells that do not show up on the bard list.
Got it. So his will be
Um,
more battle friendly, probably.
Yeah, so if we were to actually like I did not bother doing spells because I don't know what Al is going to be taking, right? So rather than list all that, it's in the actual bar document
Got it.
for what spell, So like Swift Quiver, I think is on there. I think Destructive Wave is on there. The ones that you think when it comes to like, fuck you
Yeah.
up, I'm a Valor Bard, So that's that. at least at this point. I think actually 14 is also a big point for Al because Al gets his virtuoso of combat. So it is coming around the corner for 14 for you guys, but that's not here, not there. So yeah, Al. Main things to remember. Oh yeah, I see bardic versatility. You can replace one of your expertise. Scroll down just a hair, Danny. One of your expertise, yada yada, and then I think on the next bullet you can replace one of your cantrips. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but it's only at ASI level though.
So that's that. So Al, just like things to remember, you got a couple more reactions. I mean, you've had counter charm this entire time, but I know it's not easy to remember.
I'm still trying to pick up like, does that seem like it's charming them, or is that like just damage? Like that's kind of my trigger where I'm trying to pick up on that better.
Well, I mean, keep in mind you are very charismatic. It is kind of like your thing. I know you like to fight more than not the more bards, but it's pretty easy. You can always try to pick up. You can always try to role play picking it up.
Yeah. Yeah, new reactions and then a new spell system to learn. That's a lot.
So I
A lot of
assume
options. to
you
spell
might
list.
allow him the option to use this cantrip versatility retroactively at least 3 times.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Though, I mean, yeah. So I'll have fun, trying to figure it out. But we know that like the Vicious Mockery, while thematic and fun in standard 5e, is that, but it sucks because it doesn't scale well. At least in Materia it scales well because for each die of damage that it increases, it also then affects an additional attack roll, right?
Yes.
Grenade.
You guys are doing 3d4. That's 3 attacks for a cantrip that you are messing with.
Yeah.
So it scales fairly well.
I'm still a big fan of that. Definitely a reason why I've kept it around so long. It's fun.
Cool.
All right, cool. So yeah, and then I know I'm not gonna go over equipment and stuff like that. Like that'd be too much. But
Yeah.
that's Al. Please, do your homework. Ask me questions during the week. But cool. That's our Valor Bard. Woo!
Yay.
All right,
Who's next?
Ben.
We can do Ben.
No.
Sure.
We can do Ben. I don't mind. So Ben, let me just check on my cast. I heard scratching.
You mean Barana? Just kidding. I'm not doing it.
So Ben is going to be one of the 2 new guys. We got to see him in the Changing of Ivy Home as level 9. But essentially, so similar to how he's got.
So he's gonna stay War Domain all 13. We think.
Yeah, I think he's just going to do War Domain the
Got
entire time. Sorry. Okay.
That's fine. So I'm assuming his. Yeah. Okay. You got it all the way up to 13. Nice.
Yeah. So I did his up to 13. Gith have a similar spellcasting thing to like a lot of runs. Like I said, I made it standard. So he would have chose Wisdom, and what makes it kind of insane is he is a cleric with the shield spell, and armor and a shield, so he's pretty hard to hit. He has Detect Thoughts, and he also we'll go in that in a moment later. But he also invested in a feat that gives him more spellcasting. But Mental Disciplines kind of just buffed it up just a little bit because psychic damage is kind of rare, and gave it so that it kind of helps him avoid charm, frightened, and we do play with the dazed condition, as in what is being introduced in, I guess they're still calling it 1D&D.
Yeah.
So days and weakened and stuff like that are conditions that my players will be getting used to. Weakened is the one where you guys got introduced to in the Necromancer's Tower, where it removes your proficiency bonus. Weakened is scary.
Especially since we use it for a lot of things. Although, so how does that work if you're weakened and you have items that say you can use it X number of times your proficiency
Can't use
bonus?
it.
You just
Currently
literally can't
have
use it.
0 proficiency bonus. You just can't tap into the magic of the item. It doesn't take
Interesting.
away the charges, but you can't use. Jesus, Anita, stop.
I thought you were going to bed. Fuck.
Yeah.
Must be a boring vacation.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. I just completely muted my phone.
Love you, Anita. Just messing with you.
We love you, Anita. Just like.
Just shut up. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, don't say that.
Shut up, Anita. We're being nerds right now.
God, let us nerd out. God.
Okay. So, so yeah, he's got a little bit of mental resistance, a little psionic resistance. He's like special because he's got advantage on saving throws against intelligence saves, which are, kind of showing up a weakness. But if you scroll down to his feats, like I said, so he invested in our feat system, right? We do bullets. Some are more difficult to get. So he invested 2 bullets across 2 levels. Yeah, he still needs to figure out what armor he's taking as bullet number 3 in armor specialist. But he did invest in a what we call, keep saying racial. I gotta keep saying species. Species feat that, as per our rules, you can only take 1 bullet replace 1 bullet with a species feat per family or per parent. So he had to spend actually two sets to be able to get what he wanted. And essentially, what it allows him to do is now he can do Featherfall at will, which is okay. Actually, pretty good in certain situations. But now he can also do See Invisibility and Haste spell. So that's where we saw him use Haste in our mini campaign. And it's the same rules. He can do it once for free, and then he can use spell slots to fuel it. He's pretty much doing your standard battle magic and tough as nails. Try to make it very difficult for him to lose concentration.
Yep.
And he wears heavy armor. And he did the half feat for the ranged specialist so that he can do point blank shot because he wants to
Yep. Guiding bolt and smack.
guiding bolt and smack. And for him, because of his, we did the war domain, he can make weapon attacks while casting, like as part of the casting, as long as it's a cleric spell. And we might need to take a pause on this because Anita wants to call. I think something might be up. Maybe that's why she was born.